Howdy gang, Michelle here, and I have for you a beautiful spring summer cowl that would go great with pretty much anything. Um, I'm getting hit with spring fever because we have green grass outside, and I've been hearing frogs in the little pond close by at night. And even though it's down to freezing at night, it's a gorgeous 55 degrees out right now. So it's a perfect time for something springy. So the name of this is kind of bitchy, I guess you could call it, but it'll make sense after I explain it to you. So I'm calling this the side eye cowl, not because, you're giving somebody the side eye because, just nasty. No. I'm doing this because it slants to the side and it's eyelet. So side eye. Okay. I just come up with the names randomly. So this is the inside of it, and it really doesn't look like much. But the yarn that I'm using for this is Universal Yarn Classic Shades Metallic. You can kind of see all the shimmery little glittery pieces that are in there. I really love it. I got this from my landlady's knit shop, but you could purchase it from Universal Yarn, or if you have a local knit shop, they will probably carry Universal Yarn as well. And this color that I'm using, it's a perfect one for springtime, but it's called Umbrella. And I love it because it's got different shades of greens. You got some pink, a little bit of purple, some teal. And anyway, this is the inside. It looks kind of boring, but the outside looks really, really cool. And this is what I mean when I say I'm going to hold this back, because I still have to steam block this. This is what I mean when I say it's a side eye. So you can kind of see these are going to the side, and then you have these eyelets here. So side eye. Okay, there we go. Not because I'm looking at somebody all nasty, but because it slants to the side and it's got a little eye. Okay, so this is really simple. In the written pattern, you'll see it's literally so easy to do this. It's 8 rounds total. Rounds 1, 2, 3 are just knit. You knit, true knit, no E-wrap. Round 4, and I even have a little chart on here. You guys know I love you, and I use my charts because some of you are more visual than you are with wording. You're going to get this. This is so easy, and it's really fun to do. And you can actually do this as a flat panel if you want to make this into a wrap or a shawl instead of a cowl. You could totally do that. Just keep in mind that the wrong side, which is the inside, is going to look like this, which is kind of cool too, but you really see the whole effect on the outside of this. Okay. So as I was saying, rounds 1, 2, and 3, it's just knit. So you're going to knit all the way around or knit back and forth for 3 rounds. Round 4 is where you're going to yarn over. This is where you're going to create an eyelet that's going in one direction, and then the next eyelet is going to be going in the other, which gives it that offset eyelet look. So round 4, you're going to yarn over, knit 2 together. So as you can see here, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, and you just do that all the way around. 5, 6, and 7, you're going to knit again, true knit or U-knit, no E-wrap. And then round 8 is where you're going to have 2 that you have to knit together and then yarn over. And you guys know me well enough to know you've done, I'm sure, some of my patterns where I help you set up those rows. Now, row 4, you really don't have to set up. You could just do it as you go. Round 8 is where you're going to have to move from, the second peg back to the first peg. And if you knit all the way around first and then try to move them, it's a little difficult. And I always show you guys how to do a setup row when you get to that point. So right here, I've knitted rows 1, 2, and 3, and I'm getting ready to start 4. So you can see here where this little stitch marker is. That's my first peg, and I've already done that one. So I've knitted off. Oh, and another thing, you guys know I love to mark my looms. So what I've done is I took 2 different color Sharpies. So I have purple which purple tells me this is where I have to yarn over and then knit two together. You'll see I have a purple arrow and then a purple 2. So that tells me I have to move this one over and knit 2, and that's for row 4 right here. Yarn over, knit 2 together. And then for row 8, you'll see I have a pink 2 and then a pink arrow. So this tells me I have to move number 2, peg 2 over to 1, you know, peg 4 over to 3. So if you have something that you can mark your loom with 2 different colors, 2 different color pens, 2 different color markers, whatever, this will help you out a whole lot, especially if you have to get up and walk away. You can tell what direction that you're going as far as moving your yarn overs. If you have to put it down and walk away, and then you come back and you notice, okay, well, peg 2 is empty, which means, you know, I had to go over to yarn over, knit 2 together. Okay, so that's what I've done on here. So round 4 is super easy, and that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy beautiful new loom hook from Steve Axelrod with artisanal turnings. And now I'm just going to knit this peg, knit the one next to it, and then go back, pull a little of that working yarn, and then carry it over. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around on peg 4. You're going to yarn over. You'll have 2 strands on this. And then when you do row 5, that's when you're actually going to knit all these off. And I'll show you that. So again, we're on row 4. You're going to knit 1, knit 2, go back, carry this one over. It'll pull a little of the working yarn for you. And just remember, watch your tension. It doesn't have to be super tight or anything like that. Just let your yarn glide through your fingers. And as you can see, I am using my large Leisure Arts oval loom. All 70 pegs is the half gauge loom. So if you have this one, great. If not, totally okay. You can use an all-in-one or whatever loom that you have that would be big enough to do this on as a cowl, unless you want to do a flat panel, which is perfectly okay. You could totally do this flat panel. Just keep in mind, you'll be working back and forth instead of in the round. Okay, so like for rows 1, 2, and 3, you're going to knit one way, knit the other way back, knit the other way, and then coming back is when you'll have to do your yarn overs and such like that. So just keep that in mind if you're going to do this flat panel. But yeah, it could totally be done flat panel in case anybody is asking. Okay, so I'm almost halfway around this, and this is how easy, and literally I work this up in a couple hours. So if you need a quick gift and you have, you know, a few hours that you can do this, you can totally do this. I think all this work here that's already done on this, I did it in about, I don't know, 5 hours while I was watching Outlander. But there you go. It's that simple. So I'm going to keep doing this on this side, and then I'm going to knit off rows 5, 6, and 7, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to do 8, where we do the slip, slip, knit, and then the yarn over. So we're basically going the opposite direction as far as how the yarn overs go. All right, so go ahead and pause your video, and I'm going to pause mine, and then I will meet you back here when I'm ready to get started on round 8. Okay, so real quick, I'm not at row 8 yet. I just wanted to come back in and show you guys. So every other peg will be empty and then have 2 stitches. So empty, 2 stitches. And this was on round 4. And then for round 5, you're just going to knit, and you're going to bring your working yarn in front of your empty peg. So as you can see, this starter peg, my first peg is empty. So I'm going to bring my working yarn in front. I'm going to grab these 2 strands and then knit those together. So bring my working yarn in front of the empty, and I'm on round 5 now. And then just grab those 2 and knit those 2 together. All right. So you continue on your end. I'm going to continue on mine, and now I will meet you back here. on round 8. All right, so I am done with rounds 5, 6, and 7. So now I'm on 8. And as you can see here, with 8, you're going to slip, slip, knit, and then yarn over. So again, you're probably like, Michelle, how can I knit 2 stitches when there's only 1 there? This is where I'm going to help you. So this is where we are here on line 8. So this is where you're going to slip, slip, knit, which is basically the same thing as knit 2 together, but it's just going in the opposite direction. Okay, so with round 4, we moved, you know, peg 1 to peg 2, and there was 2 on here, and this one was empty. But now we have to knit 2 on here, and this one's going to be empty. So this is where I'm going to help you guys out. So what you're going to do is you're going to knit 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go back to 2, and I'm going to tug on that lightly to pull some of that working yarn, and I'm going to move 2 back to 1. So now, whereas before I had 2 on here, now I'm following my pink guide where I have 2 on this one, and I have to move this one over. So this one's already knitted. Now just knit 2 more. So 1, 2. I'm going to move this one in the middle over to my right and slip that down. So I have 2 on the first one. The second is empty, 2 on the third one, the fourth one is empty, and I'm just going to repeat that. So knit 2 more, move the purple or the middle one over to the right and have 2 on there, knit 2 more, move that middle one over to the right, and just continue that all the way around, and then you'll be done with round 8. And then you just start over with round 1, knitting off just like we did with round 5. So once you're done this, and you come back up on your starter peg, then you're just going to knit off the ones with 2 and then bring the working yarn in front of these. But I want to show you on this one, when we get up to the starting peg, it's gonna be a little, not weird, but I'm going to show you how, because you're going to do it continuous. And again, obviously, if you're doing this flat panel, it's worked flat, so you don't have to worry about in the round thing, because you would just, you know, turn around, make sure you do your clean edges where you knit and purl the last pegs both to get that nice clean edge, instead of doing a turn and wrap, because those are always pretty loose and messy, and I don't personally like those. But hey, if that's what you want to do, I'm not the looming police. We have no looming police. You do what you want. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to work these as quickly as I can here, so then I can get up to the front. And I want to say a very big thank you, not only to my long-standing patrons. You guys are my rock stars, and I can't thank you enough, but also for my new patrons that have come on for the last month or so. I truly, truly appreciate you so much, not only for the financial part of it, but by you becoming one of my patrons, it just shows me that you have faith in me and you appreciate the patterns that I put out for you guys that are exclusives. And I've actually had people email and message me asking if they can just purchase these individually, and I'm like, nope, these are exclusive. These are only for my patrons only. So I have less than 100 patrons. I think I have like 82, somewhere around there. But all of them are not the level 3. Most are level 2s, and you know, you level 3s here. But I even capped off my level 1, which was the $2 a month people. But yeah, I have people that will see one of the patterns, be like, hey, can I just buy that? Nope, it's exclusive for a reason. So if you want it, you gotta be a patron. So I really appreciate each and every one of you for giving me the love and the motivation and the inspiration to continue to come up with creative things for you guys that, you know, people normally don't think that us loom knitters can do. We can do just as much as they can, and stand toe to toe with them. And this actual yarn that I'm using here from Universal Yarn, that's another yarn company that I've been going back and forth with to see if they can start, you know, giving us loomers some love too, because The one lady that I spoke to there, she was actually pretty impressed when I showed her my portfolio of the things on my YouTube and my Ravelry, and she said she had never seen things that were loom knitted like that. She honestly thought that some of my stuff was needle knitted, and I'm like, nope, I have videos to prove everything is loom knitted. So we're going to start getting the recognition that we deserve as loom knitters, just as much as needle knitters and crocheters out there in that community. Okay, so we're coming up on the starting peg. Now, I haven't done it yet, but you'll see, obviously this one's empty because I moved it over here. This one needs 2 and this one needs 0, but that's my third one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit, because I've already knitted this one, I'm going to knit this last one, and then I'm going to knit together these first 2, which is basically going to start my row 1, but then I'm going to come back, grab that, and move that over. All right, and then you're done all 8 rounds. You're just going to start 1 and go around again, where you're going to knit the whole thing. All right, so I'm just about done with this because I started with this purple, which is getting ready to finish up right there. So the OCD in me is so very happy right now because I'm going to do row 1 just to knit everything off, and then I'm going to do my cast off, and it's going to match, and I'm so excited. That makes my OCD so happy. But there you go. That is the fun one, and obviously once this is done, I'm going to steam block it, which you can find my steam blocking video in my YouTube as well. I'm going to put the picture in here for everybody, and I can't wait to see. This would actually work up really great if you have any unforgettable or landscape yarn, or anything nice and thin. Oh, mandala. This would even look good with the Shawl In A Cake, and any kind of thin lacy yarn, as long as you use a small gauge. Okay, so 1/2 inch or 3/8 is perfect. I wouldn't go any bigger unless you're using a thicker yarn. All right, gang, I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being the best part of my looming family. I appreciate you all so much. Happy looming, gang.